Hello everyone. I have a quick little art review for you today on the Paul Rubens Soft Pastel 40-piece set. Now I haven't seen a lot of activity on this, so I'm going to assume this is a somewhat of a new product. Now I did see a review on these from Lindsay, the Frugal Crafter, the other day, and I'll try to have her video down below so you can check out her review. So that's the only thing I've seen on these. And I got this set off of Amazon for about $40. So that comes out to be about $1 a stick. And let's just go ahead and open up the box and see these brand new pastels together. Okay, we have a nice little brochure and a color chart in here. And just to be aware, these are handmade, so they're not going to be uniform. And that's fine with me. I'm okay with that. I know a lot of people don't like ununiform pastels. I'm fine with it. And the company also sent us a swatch card. Mine's got a little dust on it. It seems textured, so the pigment's really going to grab onto this paper, and I'm jazzed that they sent this along so I don't have to make my own swatch chart. I'm going to try not to get dust all over. So this is what we have here. A very interesting color selection, I must say. And that is actually one of the reasons why I got this set. I have a lot of greens and I have a lot of purples. What I don't have are reds and pinks and peaches and oranges. I just don't seem to paint with those colors a whole lot, so I haven't had to buy too many. So I thought this set might be good to give me personally a little more variety in those colors. And it had some neutrals up here, as you can see, and it did have a couple of like drab olive greens. I always will use those. Had a bright yellow. A good selection of light colors. Okay, you can see a lot of lights. I don't know if one of these is actually a true white or not, so we'll get into that. Now, before we get into swatching and me telling you what I think of these pastels, it's very important to know what my pastel preference is. Everybody likes different hardnesses and softnesses in their own pastels. So just so you have a base of what I like, it might help you know if you will like these or not. Now, I choose to use harder pastels for my base layers. Maybe Unison it is the softest I will use for the base, but that's more like the Rembrandts I use, the Diane Townsend I use for my bases. I even use Terry Ludwig because I think those are a little harder than what I'd like. So those are my base layers. And then my workhorse, the ones that are mostly in my pastel box are going to be my Senneliers, the Unison, the new ones I have that I am in love with, the Blue Earth pastels, the square sticky ones. Yeah, those are the ones I use most in my paintings. Now on top, I use what you would consider the buttery Schmidtkeys. Like those are so soft, you can barely touch them. And that's what I use as my final layers, those highlights here and there, a little glint of something. And then to finish, I use the like new pastels. But I use those for grasses, making little sticks, little interesting nubs around in my paintings. But those are typically what I use last for making little scratches and things. So there's an overview of what I like. My daily, everyday workhorse pastel is a Sennelier that is rather soft. So that's what I'm going to judge these as. It doesn't mean I don't like a hard pastel. I also use those. But just when I'm talking about softness in these, you need to know I am judging it off a Sennelier soft pastel. All right, now you have the background on what I like and what my preferences are. So hopefully you can use that and judge these for yourself. All right, I'm going to turn you around and let's get to swatching these. Well, before I get to swatching, I just wanted to point out, I was trying to find more information online, and there really isn't a whole lot. I found it interesting that the pastels on the front were different than some of the pastels we were getting, and I thought, well, surely that there are bigger sets or different sets, and I really can't find any information about anything other than these 40 colors. So I'm not sure where this green is hiding, but it's not here. Now I could see if this is just a generic soft pastel picture and this is on every one of their boxes. I just couldn't find any other box set. So that's very interesting to me because I don't see this purple, this blue maybe, not this green, this yellow. This is a very bright yellow, but not this yellow. The orange, close, but no. This red, perhaps, maybe this one too. But yeah, it's just really strange to have this bright rainbow picture and then none of these pastels being in this set or any set I could see online. Makes you question some things. All right, now that I've talked about that, let's swatch these out, see what we feel. Have them swatched out. Let's talk about some of these color selections before I compare them to other brands of pastels, which I will do in just a second. If you don't have a lot of pastels already, I don't think this would be a good starter set. We have a slightly strange collection of colors. Now, can you do a whole painting with these? I think you probably can. But if you don't have a good base of pastels, this is a nice companion set. We have a lot of wonderful neutrals down here. The shades of gray, we have quite a few. Beautiful, maybe for making clouds, things of that nature. We have really nice bright pops of these reds, oranges colors, and maybe a raspberry up in here. But there's a lot of repetition. We have a couple of navy colors. Like this is a very dark navy. There's another dark navy down here. I don't know if this is a true black or not. But yeah, this is a very dark navy and another dark navy. There's not a lot of difference there. They could have thrown in some other color there just for the set, not in their personal selection. There's these two almost raspberry colors, almost identical. Very hard to tell them apart. Here's like a really dark green. It's very close to this navy. These oranges down here, very close. The grays, it's a nice selection of grays, but a lot of them are about the same color. Yeah, it's just a very strange collection of colors. Now, like I said before, I'm okay with it because I don't have a lot of these reds. These raspberry colors, I don't even think I have right now. So I love that. There's a particular color of taupe right here. I know taupe isn't an exciting color, but I don't quite have one that matches this, and I'm going to get a lot of use out of that. I've been looking for color of strange color taupe. Almost leans a little bit purplish. Beautiful. But yeah, there's my opinion on the selection of colors in this box of 40. Great companion set. If you have a lot of things, you just want to supplement some colors, great. If this is one of your starting out sets, no. So yeah, there's my opinion on that. And if you are looking for a good starter set and don't want to spend a lot of money, I do recommend the Mungio or Mungio, however you want to pronounce it. You can get them on Amazon. Those are very cost-effective to start out with, and they're fairly soft. They are comparable to this, in my opinion, which we're going to go through that here in a second. But yeah, let me clear this off and get out a few more pastels to compare. Here is our lineup. Now we're going to... Our base pastel is going to be the number 686 from Paul Rubens. It's a light pink color. Because I had a lot of other pastels in my collection that were kind of a light pink going into a purplish color. But yeah, I wanted them all to be the same. I didn't want to like pick a dark one because that's hard to judge. So this is going to be our base, and we're going to go down and compare all of these. This might take a while. Grab a beverage. Also should point out, this is just pastel matte. This is a sanded light color, sanded black. I'm going to keep this out to compare. Now actually, in the next one I'm going to put in line is a Sennelier. So here is where this came out of, a portrait box of Sennelier. Okay, the Sennelier is a lot softer than the Paul Rubens. A little scratchier. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, I don't keep all my Unison pastels in boxes. This just happens to be a new one I picked up the other day. Okay, so far these feel pretty identical. So the Unison, which I thought was a little harder than the Senneliers, almost identical so far. Right, next one is the Blue Earth Pastels. And sometimes I just need to do this off to the side so I can get a feel for it. Yeah. Blue Earth is very soft like the Sennelier. Now we have a harder pastel. These are the Rembrandts. Trick, if you think these are too hard, just file off the outside on some sandpaper or your sanded paper that you're using, and you'll get that hard outside coating off. But this is mainly for comparison. Yep, it's a little softer than the Rembrandts, but not a whole lot. We've made it to the Diane Townsend Artist Pastels. This is the Cloud set. Now, I found these rather hard. We'll see. Yeah, so these are going to be softer than those. Right, here's that Mangayo I was talking about. And these, you can tell, I mean, you can tell they're a cheaper pastel. However, they still, especially in the sanded paper, you can tell a difference on this pastel matte. But on the sanded paper, man, these are really buttery. Those are very close too. Wow. Terry Ludwig. Now, if you're wondering what I'm doing off to the side, I'm pretty much keeping track of what was hard and soft over here so we can make a lineup. Yeah, these are just, I mean, they're soft. They're just not as soft as what I thought they were going to be. Now we have the Schminke. Schminke, Schminke, however you want to pronounce it. Yeah, I haven't taken the label off of this because they're pretty delicate. I'm going to try to do a swatch with the label on. But you barely have to touch these to the paper to get pigment to come off. Barely touching. Yeah, I don't really have to compare this. I know this is going to be at the top. You barely have to touch this. I'm throwing this in here. I don't really know that much about these pastels. I got one in a sampler from Dakota Pastels. Great American. Let's go ahead and try it. Now, the last one we're going to throw in is a good old new pastel by Prismacolor. These are the ones that are really good for those last marks. I know this is going to be pretty hard, but still. Yeah, this is going to be down here. Actually, we're going to put, yeah, maybe there. Let me conclude this little test here. We have some categories off to the side now. The Schmickeys are the one category, so these are super soft. Right underneath that, we're going to have our Blue Earth and my Sennelier. Now, in the category right underneath that, I think the Paul Rubens, the Unison, and the Mangayo are all about the same level here in softness and texture. Right underneath there, so just barely. I mean, these all could be in the same category, but the Terry Ludwig and this Great American Artworks, they're pretty much right like this. This could all be the same category, really. And then you have the Rembrandts, the Diane Townsend, and the new pastels. Clear down at the bottom, they're a little harder. And don't forget that some brands, the darker the color, the harder the pastel. It's just a thing. The lighter the colors, the more buttery and soft they are. So that's something always to keep in mind. But just so you know that this is, I like the softer pastels, so what I like to go for are these and this right here. So this is my main category of where I like my pastel softness to be. So these Paul Rubens are right in there. Okay, well, if anybody has tried these, comment down below what you think, your opinions, all that good stuff. I just haven't heard that much about these. I hope this helps somebody out there if this is the pastel for you, and I will see you in my next video, guys. Bye.